After 2 unsuccessful Final Fours in a row, Olympiacos decided to invest heavily this summer. And just when this offseason hit its most boring part, they added Evan Fournier on top of all the other huge transfers. However, after 2 years of bench warming in the NBA and public clashes with France's national team head coach, how good a 12-year NBA veteran really is at the moment. How will he fit into a certain Yorgos Bartzokas system? Let's look if the Frenchman gives Olympiacos what it needs to be #1 title contenders in the EuroLeague.
Lets it fly from three-point range.
That's a clinic moving without the ball.
For the last couple of years, the Greek team relied on their stifling defense and Bartzokas' offensive system to generate shots. Most of the time, the formula was successful. The only thing missing was individual creation when games became a grind, usually in the playoffs or against switch-heavy opponents. Tyler Dorsey, Luka Vildoza are the names to help in this category, but Evan Fournier should be an even bigger boost. The Frenchman skill set and play style is best suited to be the #1 option in the team, but in the NBA he was nowhere near that level anymore. During his Orlando days, his averages looked great, but the Magic were nothing more than an early first-round exit team. On top, his scoring and percentages from the field dropped significantly once the playoffs came. I'll get into the details of this a bit later. Fournier's best skill is undoubtedly shooting the ball. He is a jump shooting player with majority of his attempts coming in from behind the arc or the mid-range area. He's never been a drive-first player, and with every passing year, the amount of his shots taken from the paint have been lower and lower. At the NBA level, he simply does not possess the necessary athleticism to get to the rim and finish there. EuroLeague, of course, is lower level, but I don't think we will see a different version of Evan Fournier here. When teams force the guard to dribble inside, negating an outside shot, most of the time he will rely on his mid-range or the floater, which has been an enormous and efficient weapon throughout his career. That is why I would not call him the initiator for teams' offense. Although during the international competitions with France, we usually saw him as the clear #1 option together with Nando De Colo, he was always about scoring. The same lack of quickness and physique held him away from deep drives into the paint. Those are usually the things that collapse defenses and create situations for others. Fournier is not coming to Olympiacos to bring that. But this is where Olympiacos' needs and Evan's strengths do match. The Greeks won't need tons of creation from Fournier. They will generate a lot of great looks from their system and from Bezenkov doing the incredible off-ball movement, which is also like my favorite thing to watch in the whole tournament. Also, Olympiacos can rely on Mustafa Fall or Nikola Milutinov post touches where they back down their opponents to score or play a beautiful two-man give-and-go with their guards. But on the possessions where nothing gets going, Fournier's ability to pull up after the dribble is exactly what Bartzokas needed. Isaiah Canaan was simply too small for that. Thomas Walkup gets the defender going under the screen treatment. Yeah, Dorsey can heat up, but has inconsistent written all over his name. Okay, Fournier will also have some off nights, as I would call him a streaky shooter too, but I think he's simply a level above everyone else on this roster in terms of scoring from perimeter. Olympiacos and Fournier collaboration should help both sides. Hear me out. The system will make it easier for Evan to find better shots. He can be used off the ball, and it's tough to find a better fit team-wise than the Reds to do that. He is lethal coming off pin downs on the weak side with a great touch as soon as he curls around these picks. He has a quick release, which also helps. Other times, imagine Fournier playing off of Fall or Milutinov. Just as he relocates to the corner here, he will be able to do more of the same with the red uniform too. Before we continue, a quick message from us. And no, this is not an ad, so don't skip this part. A lot of you who are watching our channel often haven't subscribed, and that's a problem. I highly encourage you to do that right now, as we will have a lot of content in this upcoming season. Thank you. Going back to the video, another thing Bartzokas' system is famous for is attacking the closeouts. Because they are an unselfish team, they move the ball around the perimeter quickly, and there are a lot of these long closeouts in the corners. Now imagine Evan Fournier in those. If you are too far, boom, three-pointer. Next time you will be worried about the shot and you will be running too fast at him. Boom, he can go past you for a floater or mid-range, or simply sidestep it for another three. This is why I don't think he will need to be a heavy ISO or pick-and-roll creator. And to be honest, he's not that great in those two categories. Looking at his shot chart from Instat in these two areas, it is obvious he prefers the dribble thingy leading to an outside shot as mentioned already before. And despite a much higher volume, he has made only 21 of these tries from behind the arc. So I'm not sure how much of the Olympiacos' problem he will solve here, but hey, Bartokas will definitely have better options than last season with Fournier, Dorsey, and Vildoza. Short mid-range or floater area is Fournier's sweet spot, and most of those came from attacking the drop defense. Only 14 of the 93 attempts came from around the rim, further proving the lack of Fournier's willingness to go all the way due to his physical tools. And I know these stats might be discouraging for some of you Olympiacos fans, but I'm pretty sure Fournier should up these numbers as his confidence and rhythm will be on a different level now that he's back in the EuroLeague. He rode the bench for almost 2 years in New York, heavily impacting his poor performance. Later, the lack of talent around him in Detroit didn't make it easier to shine after spending so much time watching action from the sidelines. I'm certain teams in Europe will respect his outside pull-up shot, asking the more mobile bigs to use hedging defenses trying to limit him. And that could potentially open up an unseen action for Olympiacos in the last couple of years. The 4v3 short roll situations where their frontcourt players could distribute the ball. Fournier's ability to pull up after the dribble, thus attracting two people, is the biggest commodity in modern basketball, and that's why Evan's ability to do so should immensely help the Greeks. Talking about creation for others, we will not see the Frenchman make wild or unique passes, but he is more than capable of dropping dimes to his open teammates when the situation asks for it. When he's driving to the rim, Fournier passing is actually even better for his own squad, as he's not that capable finishing around the rim unless he goes in full speed.
Another dunk for James Wiseman.
But enough about the offense and the good things Fournier will bring to Olympiacos. Let's quickly go over his defense. And here, truth to be told, he was never above average. I wouldn't say he doesn't put in the effort. He does, and we see some of that during his time with the French national team or in the NBA, where he tries to aggressively pressure his direct opponents. But in my eyes, he sometimes lacks defensive awareness or, of course, quicker feet to stay in front. He's also not great contesting the shots in the paint if the player drives into him too. But this is where his teammates should cover for him. With great defenders like Walkup, Papanikolaou, and paint protectors like Fall or Milutinov, Fournier's weaknesses should be hidden pretty easily to keep Olympiacos one of the best defensive teams in the entire continent. So to conclude, I do think Fournier is a big upgrade for the Reds. However, we shouldn't expect extremely high numbers from him or great efficiency from the floor. Bartokas' system should make it easier for Fournier, and the offense itself should look better with a shooter like him, but will it be enough to conquer the EuroLeague against the likes of Panathinaikos or Real Madrid? What do you guys think? Let's discuss it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one.